Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post-match review. We're going live today. Different format that we've been doing for a few weeks now, but I love it. I think it's always good to try and catch the emotion when it is here. It's always good to, especially when we're up and about. It's kind of weird. We've won 3 in a row now, beating the Crows by 27 points in the end, and it's just a relief. I mean, we've spoken so much for the last, 3 years about how we've got to wait for these boys to grow up a little bit, and these green shoots, you can talk about them, and it's kind of turning. It's definitely turning. There's no doubt about that. I'm just wrapped. I'm just so excited. I'm so relieved. Had a real good look around today, before, during, and after the game, and to see so many supporters just happy to be there, and just talking to the people next to me and behind me, and getting along with everyone. It's just such a good time to be a Carlton supporter. So I'm just very excited. I want to go through the post-match review with you all. Probably go through everyone and maybe do the ratings show here as well. So yeah, welcome if you've just joined. Reach out, say good day. Carmelo, hello mate. Baggers, you know it. You absolutely know it. I'm just going to add, if anybody would like to join this call, I'd love to have anybody on here talk about the game with me. So I'll put in the link here. Stand by. Carmelo, good to have you, mate. Justin Ryland, good to have you here. Michael Dean, you ripper. Waldy, good to bump into you again today, mate. It was short but sweet. Matt Michael, hello to you. Josh Wolfenden, I love this football club. Mate, it's a good call. I love this football club too. So exciting to be a Carlton supporter. We finally got the respect. I think the competition kind of looks at us now as a real danger side, and in the sense that we've got things to play for. We've got guys out of contract who are really giving it a crack. Andrew Phillips was solid today. I thought he battled pretty well, pretty willingly. Speaking of Will Setterfield, he was mental today, probably his career best game. Cripps was really good today, obviously. So yeah, I've just put the link in there. Join me. Let's talk. I'd love to meet see some new faces, meet some new people on this. I've got God, this could go anywhere. I've got the crazy cat. I've got the Pom coming up now. Dan, can you hear me, mate? Okay, Dane's here. Lads, bring on West Coast. Commentary described it as a mature, complete performance. Interesting. I obviously didn't hear the commentary, but yeah, I felt like it was a really mature performance in the sense that, we had patches where we were good, and then we had patches where we just slowed the tempo and just played it at our own pace and forced Adelaide to come and play it on our terms, which was really pleasing to see. So I've got a few people here. Kano, you're here. Let's see if we can get you up here. Kano, hello, mate. Kano, you there, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Good, mate. Good to hear. Good to have you. Good to hear you. How you feeling? What a win! Hang on, mate. You're breaking up a bit. You need to close your Facebook tab and just keep your BeLive tab open.
Yeah.
All right, a few more here. Simon Kerben, hello, mate. Pommy.
Yeah, the boys.
How's it going, fella?
Oh, no, it's just crazy, isn't it? Can we play Adelaide every week?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what. It's the game played out exactly how I thought it would. I tipped us by 32 points. Got it a little bit wrong there, 5 points off, but I just felt like we were building towards today. It really was. The last few weeks we were building towards it. Adelaide were obviously low on confidence. Mate, they got dramas all around the park. They're missing something. They're missing a spark. They're missing an energy that's just not there for them. But that's
tell you
enough.
what they miss. They miss Teague.
Wow. Very good point. Very good point.
It was just so good, wasn't it? I mean, SPS turned into Rory Laird. Setterfield turned into Judd. It was just brilliant.
It was pretty good timing on the Sam Petrevski-Seaton video. We spoke about him becoming more of a halfback flanker, maybe playing more of a Yaron role. I want him to just continue with that. I thought he was fantastic. And he's only going to get better with it. He's going to learn how to actually win more of the ball. So, yeah, really, really great call on that one, Dan. Really, really good one on that.
I think based on today, hopefully in a couple of years, Rory Laird might become as good as SPS.
I can't wait, mate. I can't wait. So many.
And I think the big one as well, you and me said, McKay and Tex, that'd be the battle. And I said on the video, if McKay can bring it to ground, that's all we need him to do. Well, yeah. I tell you what, McKay must have watched the video.
He must have, mate. He must have seen you call him out.
I can't wait to beat West Coast next week either. It's brilliant, this.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, how good was – can we go to the individuals? I mean, Cripps, we'll get to him, but how good was Levi Casbolt playing 3 positions, playing forward, ruck, defence? He's like a bigger version of, I don't know, Jimmy Bartell or something. You just put him anywhere. He's
Levi Casbolt, like 1 minute's Gary Ablett Sr., the next minute he's Polly Farmer. Like, tell you what, he might be the All-Australian ruckman, key defender and key forward.
Oh, my God. He was seriously, he's lining up for set shots, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but like I'm not worried. Like I'm not closing my eyes. I'm not thinking, oh God, where's this going to go? Clinton McRae, you've actually nailed it with this comment. This is the feeling we want. 100%. It's the feeling we want. And this is the feeling we were going to always get if we were just a little patient. We're starting to see these guys grow up. We're starting to see, we're all missing quite a few big names today. Marchbank, obviously Doc's there, and Uza, and just the way McGovern, just the way that they performed. Their other guys stepped up. Great. Can't talk about it enough.
Oh, Plowman was brilliant. Wheaterin, just turned it on. Had a tough first quarter. He showed the maturity like all great key defenders do. Phillips, I was confident Phillips was the guy to beat Riley O'Brien, and tell you what, he gave Riley O'Brien a bath. Phenomenal. I can't be more proud of Carlton Football Club ever in my history of following football. I am proud of every one of them 22.
Yeah, 100%. Kano, you here with us, mate?
Yeah, I'm here.
Nate, talk to me. How you feeling?
Oh, it was just so good to watch. I'm wordless.
Speechless, mate.
Yep.
Yeah. How about that Will Setterfield trap and release? Terrence, good call. Saw him at the game today. He was something special today, for sure.
Oh, it was just a great day out, wasn't it? I mean, 100%. There's only one thing that will make this better, and that is Stephen Cornelio.
I know about it. Peter Vlahos spoke to him after the game. He was pretty keen to get Stephen Cornelio as well. I mean, if you do add a guy like that, I mean, surely the free agents out there are looking and they're taking notice of what we're doing and the way that we're playing. And you look at Brisbane today; they won again. They've really solidified top spot. Second spot now. This is, the sky's the limit, and dare to dream. Really, next year is going to be. I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead. I want to enjoy this right now. But massive. Just while I've got everyone here, and I'll get to you, Kano, and with this. But if everyone can add their votes for today, 3 votes, 2 votes, and 1 vote. I haven't really gone through the stats. I haven't really had a chance to think yet, but. Kano, give us your votes, mate.
Actually, yeah. Well, I was listening to it on the radio after the game on the AFO radio, and they were saying that the 2-in-1 vote is really hard.
Yep. So who are you giving it to, mate?
I'll probably give Levi the 2 votes because of how he's performed today.
Okay.
Number 1, I have to go with Walshy. I'll give it to Walshy.
Okay. Nice. Dan, what about you, mate?
Well, three votes without a shadow of a doubt. Young Mr. Patrick just turning into a King Cripps.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you don't need the Crouch brothers. You only need 1 Cripps. 2 votes for me. Definitely, I think I'm going to give it to Setterfield. I was really impressed with his all-round game. And 1 vote purely to wind my good friend Dane up, Mark Murphy. I thought he was solid, had his fingers in all the pies.
Yeah, it was so good to see. I don't remember a time where Cripps, Murphy, and Ed Curnow all had 30 touches. I don't know if it's happened before, but they were just prolific all day. I thought even Daisy Thomas was pretty prolific too. He got quite a fair share of the ball. I don't know what his numbers were at the very end, but just the volume of the numbers today was good to see across the board. We still had a few towards the bottom end, Paddy Dow and the like. They had Paddy Dow had the 4 touches. I think O'Brien had the 9. So we're still having those guys there as well. But great lines, great evens. We don't have, looking at the stat sheet early in the season, we're looking at 1, maybe 2 guys who have 5 or plus touches. And so it's just pleasing to see that there's such an even spread of really good talent. I harp on Setterfield a lot, and I've been backing him all season, but the guy's got some serious, A-grade potential talent.
Oh, we said it at the start of the year, and we keep saying it. Setterfield's going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm more than happy. It's my last week of work next week, so I'm going to be hard work to be sat near. I'll tell you, hard work.
Well, it's a great time to have free time, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So let's talk about David Teague. Let's absolutely talk about David Teague. The guy has been 2 kicks away from being 7 zip. This is a phenomenal performance. A lot of it, you give credit to the players, but he's going to get a lot of credit for this. I know that we're obviously already big fans of his, and my turning point for getting Teague in was last week. But what does this do for David Teague, for you, and for those of you watching and listening?
Oh, for me, it's locked in now. It has to be. I was on the Clarkson train, but screw Clarkson. Let's get Teague. It's all about Teague. Teague will win 6 in a row.
I'm being an absolute Carlton prick right now, but if we win every game for the rest of the season, finals is on the cards. It can happen.
So yeah, I'm calling it, right? We're all excited we've won 3 in a row. We get Stephen Cornelia, right? Forget 3 in a row. We'll go 23 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're never going to lose again. That's it. Forget about losing.
That's exactly right. Getting a few of the votes here. Dane, 3 to Cripps, 2 to Setterfield, 1 to Gibbons. Again, just a reminder, Walsh is a 19-year-old, 30 possessions, 16 contested, unbelievable. Special mention to the whole forward line. Tackles in forward half are through the roof. Tackles for forwards. Kennedy 7, Dow 6, JSOS 5, DeLuca 5, Lang 3. Yeah, good call. Great call. The forward pressure, the ability to lock that ball in our forward 50 is just something we weren't doing early in the season. It just wasn't there. It certainly wasn't there. And it's just really pleasing to see. I thought DeLuca was solid with his pressure. I think he had 4. He had no disposals at quarter time, and he had the 4 tackles. He's just throws his body around in there. All of them in there. I thought Kennedy was solid too. Bit stiff to get a bit of an ankle knock. I'm not sure how serious it is, but he looked like he played on. But yeah, it's great. Mark here, I'll try and get through some of these comments now. I love how we've gone from despair to dreaming about finals in the near future. It's in our DNA, absolutely. Wildy, will the media talk about the stock of trade now? Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's a shame that Brisbane actually did get up because Hawthorn could have gone on top of the Crows today. The Crows still sit in 8th spot as it stands right now. Clinton, the ruck combo is an absolute ripper. Albert Ferrigno, Gibbons, what a champion. Clinton again, TDK, Cruiser, and Phillips, plus Levi and Harry chip hitting. Yep, absolutely, mate. Actually, I'll put it to you, Dan. What do you think about Phillips? What's he done? What is the game that he played today? And it was an opportunity for him to really stake his claim for his future at the club. Let's be honest. He's got an opportunity now with Cruiser being injured. He comes in. He knew he'd be rucking for the majority of the game. How did you see his game? And do you think he can put some form together and stay on the list next year?
Oh, for me, I've always been a big fan of Phillips, and I know we love Cruiser, and nothing against him. I think he's a fantastic ruckman. But I do think when you look at him, he's held together by Araldite. He's like a child's toy, right? This game of being a ruckman now, you've got the modern day, you've got English, you've got Grundy, you've got Gorn. They're different fish now. They're totally different. And Phillips, for me, superior in the air. He's a better hit out to advantage ruckman. And you saw him, he drops in the holes where Cruiser doesn't. And to me, I just thought it was a phenomenal performance. And I personally think we wouldn't have got that level of dominance with Cruiser there at the moment. When Cruiser's fit, like actually fit, there's no contest. But for me, Cruiser's always playing at 70, 80%.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a warrior. He's a spiritual leader in the sense. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, look, I was just really pleased to see. I mean, I thought early in the game, I thought Riley O'Brien got a bit of the ascendancy, and then I thought Phillips just worked his way into it. He probably needed a quarter or so to get up to the speed of the game because I don't know when's the last time he did play in the AFL. But yeah, I thought once he took a few marks, he started clunking them, went forward. It was just good to see. So yeah, do you think he'll stay on the list?
I think Phillips definitely will stay on the list. I think Mr. Lobb will be the one that leaves. But I think Phillips, for me, has to stay there as a backup until TDK is ready to go full time.
Yep, fair enough. Just getting through some of these votes. Shad Watson, 3 to Cripps, 2 to Casbolt, 1 to Setterfield. Anthony Walsh, hello, mate. SPS was also unlucky not to be in the votes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really liked his game, liked how he's coming along. Josh Ferguson, Phillips and Setterfield, outstanding. Bob Franklin, 3 to Cripps, 2 to Casbolt, 1 to Phillips. Don Carlos, hello, mate, from overseas. I think I saw you in Spain still. I love that. That just warms me on the inside. That's what it's all about. 3 to Cripps, Casbolt 2, Halls Creek 1. Love it for Samo. Mick Miles, 3 to Cripps, 2 to Walsh. Half to Jones, half to Casbolt. Love it. Dominic Spataro, great win. Don Carlos, hard to choose here. Paul Acker, 3 to Cripps, 2 to Simo, 1 to Murphy. It was good to see Simo get a bit of the ball today. He was really prolific. His numbers were there. He looked like he had a bit more of a step on him. What do you think of his game, Dan?
Oh, phenomenal. I mean, one of the things we talked about in the video as well at the weekend is we were talking about the importance of transitioning from halfback, and both teams, that was their strength, but also their weakness. And I thought SPS and Simo just blew it away. Like for me, I mean, Simpson, 31 touches going at 83%. That's ridiculous numbers. Fantastic. I mean, Simpson must have thought he was 19 years old again.
Yeah, it was a real wind back the clock type performance. And I tell you what, if he starts having a little bit of a spike in form, just to finish off the end of this season, something into the thoughts of the list management.
Oh, I mean, definitely. And I think as well, we can see with all the comments coming through, how great is it that for the first time in probably forever, you could make an argument for about 8 players to have a 3, 10 players to have a 2, and 21 players to have 1. Like, how great is it that we're not sat here going, this guy's a hack, needs to be delisted. We're talking about 22 guys who really have played brilliantly.
Yeah. it's just such a relief, mate. Like, we're just relevant again. It's been so fucking long since we've been able to feel this. I don't even know when the last time we won 3 in a row was.
2016.
2016, we won 3 in a row. I don't even remember what was going on there. I really don't. I just, like I said, just seeing everyone engaged at the footy again. I was sitting in the Carlton members today on level 1. You just look around I just don't remember feeling like this about the Blues for years. There's some serious, it's more than hope. It's more than hope. And, everyone on the outside will talk about how, yeah, of course, they know we're coming. It's a 20-year rebuild. So many people who have said so many stupid things about players this year who are looking like fucking morons right now.
I think what made it better for me as well is that you had Justin Riley last week, the list manager at Adelaide, saying how they tripped over phone calls to send the fax to confirm that it was all done, that trade was done because it was such a good deal to get pick 1 for pick 18. Tell you what, I bet they wouldn't be tripping over it now.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I'm just looking at a photo that was just sent to me. I saw that Bryce Gibbs had 40 touches and 10 marks in the SANFL.
Yeah, and Eddie Betts kicked 4. So Douglas had 32 touches.
So good.
Suck shit, Crows.
Cripps' second most clearances in a game. Is that a fact? Is that the second most clearances in a game ever?
Yeah, and number 1 is Ed Kerner.
Really?
Yeah, doggies.
Oh,
doggies. A world record.
There you go. I think, both of us, we had a really big feeling that Cripps would come to play today and have one of those dominant games. I had him as captain in my super coach side. If Dane Rawlings, if you're watching this, mate, you know that you should have put the C on Patrick Cripps, mate. I don't know what you were thinking. Doubting our skipper.
Oh, wasn't it great to see Cripps, and this has been my big criticism of him, that he no longer has to fanny around getting the ball out.
Yes.
Like we saw him just be dynamic.
Yes. Very good call. The players around him. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying this guy's name again. Will Setterfield's ability in traffic is man, there's some serious talent with that kid.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was just great. I mean, the tenaciousness of Carlton Football Club as well. We've got that heart back. Them tackles that J Sauce leg, the tackles that like Josh DeLuca, where he has no regard for his safety. He's a good-looking boy, and he just throws himself into it. It's great to see. Yeah,
100%. What about Michael Gibbons? Michael Gibbons is just getting better and better. I think the Zach Fisher, it's going to be an interesting thing for Teague because Gibbons has got to play more midfield time. He shows it every week. I thought the Zach Fisher hole that was sort of left today was filled really well by Gibbons. And, what do you think of his game?
Oh, Gibbons, big raps at the start of the season. Saw him a few times at Williamstown. He blew my head away. I think he's phenomenal. For me, if we're talking ins and outs, and this is my one question mark this week, is I worry about Patrick Dow. And if you go on the NFL website, there's a wonderful article, it was last year, from Rory Sloan about his issues he had when they started tagging him. And he was having them 9 possession games and people were saying he can't break the tag. And he was talking about the mental woes that reading negative comments, reading the press, saying he's lost his ability created. And I do worry about Dow that he's looking like he's avoiding going in for the ball. There was a few times in the fourth quarter, you can see he's kind of like, do I? And I'd like to see him go to the VFL and get some easy ball and work on his game, because I am worried the more we force him to play, the more it's going to have a negative effect. I love Dow and I think he'll be a superstar, but I think for me, Fisher comes in, Dow goes to the VFL.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can remember Dow so clearly last year. So many moments where he'd get the ball and sort of explode out of a stoppage, and sometimes he'd get the ball out, and I remember watching and thinking, gee, give him another preseason or two, and that's going to be a real clean break out of the stoppage. Whereas he Yeah, I agree. He's looking like a guy that is really low on confidence, really, really low on confidence. So interesting to see what happens there. Jeffrey O'Day, Heath Buck just interviewed Simo. He wants to go on. He's loving his footy. Well, there you go. There you go. And, who wouldn't be loving being at Carlton right now? There's a great vibe around the place. You and I were there on Friday. It was pretty full, people getting coffees and in the cafe. And, there's nothing like our footy club. There really isn't.
Oh, and this time next year, we're going to be 8 points clear at the top, booking September off. It's going to be great.
I've cleared the schedule, mate, already. No worries. No worries about that. There'll be finals action next year. Lock it in. Simon Martin, what were the crowd numbers? I'm a little bit disappointed in this because I went into this game thinking, yeah, we'll show up. Carlton supporters will show up. We had 32 at the game last week, 32,000. I think there was 38,000. I could be wrong on that, but someone told me there were 37, 38,000. I was hoping for something like 50, 55. But if anyone does have the final numbers for the attendance, let me know because, it wasn't as high as what I thought.
40, I can confirm because I might have put some money on 40,000 or more and I lost the bet. So,
can you bet on the attendance?
Mate, you can bet on anything.
Oh, mate, that's so good. Michael Dean, good evening to you. Peter Vlahos, 38,000, which was low compared to the other games of the G. Yeah, guys, come on. Come on. You got to be at these games. I mean, I understand if things happen in life and you can't be there, but today was one of those games you just had to be there for. No doubt about that. Anthony Walsh, the female umpire. Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations to Eleni. She got engaged today on the field with one of the other umpires. I'm not sure if it was before or after the game, but yeah, congratulations to her. That's obviously very special for her. I thought at times the umpiring was really disappointing. I felt like sometimes there were just too many whistles being blown. And it was weird because the crowd started getting into it really fiercely against the calls against us. And, the free kick differential was not friendly to us at all. And it just seemed like usually when the crowd gets into it, the umpires really adjust. It didn't happen. They just kept blowing free kicks against Carlton. And then by the end of the game, the crowd at one point was just up in arms. It was really poor today. And I'm not having a go at Eleni because she's a female. I'm just putting Eleni in the same category as I would any other umpire. I just thought she was a little poor today. And I want to talk about umpires. I don't want to be that kind of supporter, but there was no doubt, the umpires just got the rough end of it today with the crowd, and it didn't seem to get any better. What did it look like on the screen, Dan?
It looked harsh. It did. I mean, I do think Alani's got a lot of abuse from Carlton fans.
Yeah.
And as a big advocate for equality also means you have to be treated like the male umpires. So male umpires get some horrendous abuse. So just because you're a female doesn't mean you're circumnavigated from it. But I do think that hopefully now she's got engaged and she's happy. Next week, she'll be fine.
Yeah, hopefully.
Smile on her face.
The other thing as well is it's our own fault for how poor we were last year. We put ourselves in this hole. We get these fixtures. We don't get the primetime fixtures. Therefore, we don't get the primetime umpires. So there's only so much complaining we can do and finger pointing we can do.
I do think for me as well, Carlton, as well, we do give away free kicks because we do love holding in aerial contests. And we haven't adjusted that the AFL, literally, if you go and give your wife a hug, you get a 6-week ban. So it's a big thing. So I think, to me, we do encourage the umpires to pay it against us.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. Jeffrey O'Day, Dowie's playing small forward. He had 6 tackles. People have to realise it's a different role. I back him in. Yeah, look, I back him in too, Jeffrey. It's a good point. I think we all want the best for Paddy Dow. It's just looking at the way he attacks contests. It doesn't matter if you're a forward or a midfielder. It's just when the ball does come to him, it just seems like he's He's just got anxiety. You could sort of read it on him, and he's going to get through it. He's a good kid. I had a look at the boys came. I was, like I said, sitting on level 1, like the 3rd row from the front, and the boys came past and they were giving high fives. And you look at Paddy Dow, he's a baby. Like he's still got his little baby face. He's got his little kid body. I know Walsh is very young too, but Walsh is totally different beast. Paddy Dow's a very, very young boy, and some of us take a little longer to mature. I'm in the, not even just footballers, but humans in general. We take a very long time to mature, and you got to remember, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, especially at Carlton, they're being forced to be put into the spotlight. Passionate, raging Carlton fans giving them all sorts of pressure. So it's going to take some time for him to get through it, but you've got to back him in. You've got to back your kid in. That's all you can do. I mean, if you're going to sit here and have a crack at him and call him shit and whatnot, it's just not going to help, because you look at what people were talking about Will Setterfield early in the season. Look at him now. He's really come on. So I think Dow will be all right. Just needs some time.
I think everyone's got to think we're big Dow fans, but I do think we appreciate his role's changed. But I think if you look at body language, the intensity he attacks contest, which was really massive last year, this year you're seeing it. And I don't want him to keep playing with all this negativity around him. I think he needs to go away, work on his game, and enjoy it again.
Yep, absolutely. What do you think about Harry Mackay's game today?
Harry for me is, you hear these irritating people. I hear it a lot. Numbers don't mean everything. Some things aren't on the stat sheet. For me, McKay is proof that that's absolute rubbish, because he always finds a way to impact the game in some way. So, okay, his kicking was a bit shithouse today, let's be honest. Like, he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo, to put it bluntly. But how many times did he tap it down to advantage of Gibbons? It must have been about 12 times. Like, the guy is phenomenal. He's just a menace. I rated it. I thought it was an 8 out of 10 easy for me. Yeah.
I found myself really getting stuck into Tex Walker today. Like, I love him. Tex is a great player, but found myself just calling him a fucking cat every time. I thought Weiner just bathed him today after the first quarter. Even Jenkins, I found myself every time he got near the ball just thinking and saying, I mean, he obviously couldn't hear me, but he doesn't perform well at the MCG. This is not the ground for him. I really got stuck into the two of them today.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, Tex is that you'd love him living with you, but you don't want him as a neighbour, don't you?
Yeah. He's just not moving anywhere near with the power that he once was. He doesn't have the explosiveness in his strides. He's definitely struggling a little bit.
Oh, Tex is Tex, isn't he?
Yeah.
If he was captain, he wouldn't be there, but he's a massive part of their game.
Yeah. Jeffrey O'Day, other than St Kilda, we play 4 sides who are premiership contenders. If we can snag 2 more wins, that is fantastic. Any more than that, and we can say next year we're a finals threat. There's a huge sigh of relief that comes right now at the end of round 19, and that's that we've won 6 games. My prediction for the season was 6 games. I think any Carlton supporter, just general consensus, we were talking anywhere between the 5 to 7 range for how many games we'd win. We've just ticked off. If the season were to end today, we would look at it on a high level and say, right, 2 wins to 6 wins, tick. Dan, do we have any more in us, mate? Can we creep up to 8?
I think that we will have. I think we'll beat Geelong.
Yeah.
And I think we'll beat St Kilda.
Okay. Why do you think we'll beat Geelong, apart from the fact that we're just a better team?
Well, because Scott's has said the last 2 times they've made finals that they've had to win to get in it. And he always uses the excuse other players can make wholesale changes last round, have 2 weeks off. I think he'll have mass changes round 23. I think he'll rotate the players the hell out of them. So I think we'll catch them unawares. And St Kilda, we've got to beat my wife's team.
Yeah, can't have that.
And also, so I don't have to read anymore, bring back rats.
Yeah, we can't lose to St Kilda twice in one season. We surely.
Don't. Hopefully not.
Yeah, yeah. Getting through a few more comments. They're flowing through. Thank you very much for joining tonight. Simon Martin, big change from 100 points. We lost to them last year. Great call. Yeah. Wow. Didn't even think of that. That's less than 12 months ago. What happens? What can happen in 12 months? Jeffrey O'Day, good call down on Big H. His goal kicking confidence is down, but competing, tackling, and bringing the ball to ground, he was great today. Yeah, I agree. I thought he did the things that don't come up with.
TPI has just told me he had 18 tap marks, they're called, to advantage. So that's where he's gone for a mark, chose not to do it and tap it on, and 7 of them resulted in scores. So anyone who's saying, oh, he's shit, maybe check stats.
Have a look at it again, maybe. Alex Thompson, how many times did Riley Knight duck? Good call. He did this in front of me on the boundary line today. I don't know who. Maybe Lockie Plowman got into him, stuck into him, or Setterfield. I did notice that. Good call, Alex. Anthony Walsh, Wiedering looks confident after his injury. Yeah, he's looking like a real man, and it's a really good point, Dan. I want to focus on this maybe next week in a video. 2020 is looming. It's coming. And Harry, Charlie, Jacob, Cunners, and Jack Silvani are all in year number 5. I think one of Charlie or Jacob will be All-Australian or have an All-Australian type season next year and have a really solid season. If I had to guess, I think Jacob Wiedering is primed for a really, really serious crack at All-Australia next year. How do you see that going?
I'm going to call it now. We're going to have 3 All-Australians next year.
Okay.
And they will be Patrick Cripps, Sam Walsh, and Jacob Wiedering.
Yeah. I knew you'd be on my page there. Yeah, he's just, if he can just play his 22 games, obviously not have any of those clumsy injuries happen to him. He's looking solid. He's really growing up, and like I said, year number 5 starts rolling through. You know, he's going to be, you know, in the peak of his physical, sort of capabilities in a sense. And mate, we're going to be it's a dynasty we're building here. I know that we're all biased to Carlton, but if you can't see what we're building here, then you're just not watching close enough.
I do think as well, a big thing for me with Wiedering is he had a real tough first quarter. And he showed his maturity and his game sense to really readjust and really not let that affect his confidence. Years gone by, he used to have a rough first quarter and it just went downhill. He really readjusted, and I was proud of him today. Yeah,
absolutely. Craig, Gibbo just keeps getting better. Liked his game. He loves the contest. Yeah, he sure does. Michael Dean, the Saints is the team that worries me the most. They're our bogey side. I'm with Dan. I reckon we'll beat the Cats. I'm not confident about the others. Yeah, the Saints are an interesting one because they've got the Ratton factor. He's got them. He's opened them up as well, and I actually think they'll win tomorrow. I've tipped them, and I think they could probably finish the season strongly. And Rats is a good coach because he obviously wants to prove himself. So it should be a tough one.
I can hear a lot of shouting in the living room. They're currently 4 goals down. So.
Oh, is that right?
Go on the D's.
Okay. Peter Lewis, Walsh is a gun. Anthony Walsh, Harry could come into his peak in 2020. I think Harry's probably more one for 2021, 2022. I think Harry's going to be one of those guys that it's going to start clicking for him probably in 18 months from today. Or 12 months from today. Yeah, so he'll come home strong next season, and then 2021. Yeah, I think next year will be the year of Charlie or Jacob or both, and I think Harry will be the next year. I just think because he's a little bit taller than Charlie, once he gets to that level where he's just bigger and stronger than everyone else around him, that's when I think we'll really get the best out of Harry.
I do think we're a little bit hard as well, because you've got to think if you're setting a defensive line against Carlton with no McGovern, with no Charlie, it's quite easy to take one out. So you saw Talia lived next to McKay, next to him. Wherever he went, he was there.
Yeah, let's all say point that out as well. Let's just also, I'll let you go on. Sorry to interrupt. Let's just point that out. Daniel Tiley is a really good defender as well. So
he's not bad. He's not bad at all.
Sorry, go on. What were you saying about Harry?
And I was saying, so it's quite easy to defend against when there's one. If you look at Ben Brown at North, he suffers from that quite often until the emergence of Larkey. But you watch when Mason Wood has a bad game, Ben Brown usually has a horrible game too. It's quite easy to take one person out.
Yep. No, good call.
Shad Watson. Okay.
Harry will get 25 missed marks next year and break a record for tap downs. Cameron. Charlie is our finisher. He comes up clutch. Give him the ball and he'll launch one from anywhere. Harry is our guy up the ground. Leave King Charles one-on-one inside 50. I like it, mate. Nick Webb, Baggers, mate. Where are you? Where are you tuned in from, Nick? I saw you at the end. I was doing some interviews after the game. I saw you walk past me, but where are you? Where are you calling from, mate? Where are we? David Willers. Can Carlton beat the Eagles next week? Well, let's talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can we really? I don't know. I always thought that this was the win. This was the one we're leading up to, and then next week will probably be the one where we probably drop it. Now we can win, of course we can win, and I'm looking forward to getting around it and going to the game and seeing it all. But yeah, where do we? Because I know we played well against them last year, playing with the MCG. So for you, Dan, how do you beat the Eagles?
We have to tidy up our entry in that last kick inside 50. That's where they're very strong at setting that trap, and McGovern intercepts it. And suddenly, before you know it, there's a handball to Shannon Hearn and they're on the way. So for me, that's where we need to really tidy it up, make sure that we're not allowing them to turn it over easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a tough game because, let's be honest, West Coast for me are a tough side to beat wherever they play.
Yep.
But we've got a chance. I mean, it's that time of year where good teams get rolled by bad teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just got a photo sent to me. Terrence, thanks for this. Cripps, 19 clearances, second most to Paul Salmon, who had 22.
Paul Salmon?
Yeah, I can't see. Maybe, I don't know. Are you sure that Ed's record was for clearances and not contested possessions?
It might have been. I don't know. I haven't got my laptop on me, so I can't double check it. But
yeah, so this was from the actual AFL Instagram page. They uploaded the photo. So
the AFL would know more than me.
To be fair to you, the AFL app had Cripps as injured at one point today, and he was literally running on the ground. So, yeah. Shad thinks that we can beat the Eagles. Depends on how many marks Harry misses. Oh, he's got the banter out. Shad on the banter tonight, mate. Saturday night banter with Shad.
Harry will kick 6 versus the Eagles, and Shad, when that happens, you've got to get a tattoo of Harry McKay on your head.
Love it. Nick Webb just got home, mate. Celebrations have not ended though. Bloody pumped, mate. Raise a glass for me, mate. Have a drink for me, and I'll definitely have one for you. Heath Buck, love you boys. I said the other night we would beat them up around the ball. Beautiful, great call. You sure did, mate. I think I saw on Twitter today that you were actually calling the game, and I had a comment from Jeffrey just in the comments earlier in the show. You had a chance to speak to Kade Simpson. Can you confirm that? And let me know what you think. Do you think he should play on? Seems like he's enjoying his footy, and he seems like that's what he was talking to you about. Good to have you in amongst it in the change rooms and asking the questions that we want to know. So if you could shed some light on that, that'd be cool. Peter Lewis, love Blues Abroad, love it. Hey Dan, by the way, today I had a guy in the crowd. I was walking up after quarter time, and he screamed out. He's like, "Blue Abroad, I fucking love you!" And I had a chat with him, and he was, I'm passing on the message to you. He's like, "I love you and Dan. I love your videos. Danny's amazing. I love his accent." So, mate, you're getting some steam.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Jeffrey O'Day, we match up well in the center with the Eagles. I think we can dominate there, keep entries into the forward line to a minimum, and tag McGovern. Blues by 6. Oh, God. The lid's already off. Imagine we do actually get up next week. Clinton McRae, I can see a lot of the way Teague played in the boys. Good call. It's a good call. I really like it. I think guys like Gibbons, Setterfield, DeLuca, I think they play in the spirit. Even Jack Silvani that Teague did. Teague talks a lot about doing your job. I thought Teague was one of those guys in his career that did his job. You know, he wasn't a star, but he did what he needed to do. So
He never gave up, and you can see that in our players.
Yeah. Sean Costello, which of Jones, Wieders plays on Kennedy, Darling, respectively? Gosh. I would have thought Jones goes to Kennedy, and I think Wieders goes to Darling. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I'd agree with you because, I mean, you don't have to worry about Kennedy. He's kicked his allotment for the month today, so...
Yeah. Jack Triffett, who do you think Cripps with the matchup against next week? Oh, I don't know. What do West Coast have Hutchings, don't they? Hutchings goes to their best midfielder.
He's usually the meanie, isn't he? He's the meanie. I mean, I'd love to see him and Gaffey go head-to-head. But...
Cripps?
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of Cripps and Elliot Yeo going head-to-head.
I'd like to see them. I've just got a big thing about Gaff. I don't really like him, so I'd just like to see Cripps smash him a few times.
Yeah.
I imagine they'll bring in Hutchins for it and try and Cripper off.
Yeah. Cameron, only way I can see us beating the Eagles is an absolute demolition job through the middle. Sit Ed on Shuey and hope Cripper can towel up Yo, but he's a mighty player. If it's played end-to-end, Barras and Gov are too good in the air. Good call. Good call. Clinton, I can see a lot of the way Teague played coming out of the boys' endeavour at the ball. Yep, you're just clearing up that comment. Justin Ryland, who's stopping Jeddah half back? Well, mate, we got the Choz, mate. The Choz can go to anybody.
That's all you need. All you need, Choz.
Love it. Stefan, Blue Abroad, best thing to happen to us Carlton fans. It's Cripps. Thank you, mate. I love it. Love the community we've got here. It's building quickly. It's really come along with the wins. Heath Buck, and here he is here, spoke to Cade, said he wants to play on next year. He's loving turning up to work every day. Said he is reinvigorated. I will post the interview later. Yes, please, mate. I'll share it on the page as well. I was at training on Captain's Run yesterday, and I saw this little interaction with Cade Simpson and Zach Fisher having a bit of banter back and forth. Cade was making fun of Zach Fisher, talking about how he couldn't kick the ball 60, 65 metres and how Cade could do it at his age. And it was just those little interactions I could see. I mean, there's, you know, they're talking about Cade Simpson's basically double Zach Fisher's age.
Has Terry just died? Just wait for him to come back. Let's have a look at some of these comments then. Chris Broberg, can you play the two ruckmen, Cruiser and Phillips? I think maybe up against, you know, one of the big sides, you know, maybe like in Melbourne, there's probably an argument too because they've got Bruce and him. But I think way the modern day games, particularly against the Eagles, I think you'd be totally fine. For me, I mean, let me know what you think. Where would you use Cruiser and Phillips? Cheers, David. Appreciate the comment. Who will Ed tag? I'd say Ed will probably actually go to Gaff.
Oh, mate, you've done well.
He's back.
I'm back. You've done well. You filled in for me. I didn't know what was going to happen there.
I just carried on. As if you were here.
Yeah, continue. Where are we up to?
Oh, I was just reading out some of the comments while you were gone. I was just saying, Alex asked, who will Ed tag? And I was like, I'd imagine he'll probably go to Gaff or Shuey.
Yep.
I'd imagine that would be Ed's job.
Yep, absolutely. Stefan, been listening to round 1, 2018. What's that?
I said you were halfway through a story. Cade Simpson, 60-metre kicks with Fisher.
60-metre kick to Fisher, and I could just see them interacting with each other, having a bit of a laugh with each other, and it was that kind of energy and that interaction which made me think about, you know, and further to Heath's point, Simo must be really enjoying the youth that's here. So that was the point that I was just sort of raking there.
Yeah,
we had more of the pressure at the start. Has to be the same or better next week against the Eagles. Cameron, would love to see you get on live. The Carlton Live boys and Terry on Tuesday stream. Bucker, love your work. Yes, indeed. Are the Carlton Live boys here? Would love to chat with them as well. Trev and John, you're welcome to join this one. Okay, I'm starting to catch up here. All right. Either between ruck and forward or off ruckman in the bench. Jeffrey O'Day, Casbolt is doing brilliantly as a backup ruckman, so don't need 2 rucks against the Eagles. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. For sure. I know it's very early. I mean, I don't know anything about the VFL apart from the fact that I think they had a pretty good win. Matt always kicked 4. The Solo kicked 3. Are they a chance to play next week? Because I really do think, well, Paddy Dow will come out and Fisher you'd think will come in. The only other person you may think about dropping, and I don't think it's going to happen, is if you want to bring in an Owies or a Fasolo for Lang. But I don't think there's any need to do that. Do you?
No, not really. No, you know what I'm like. I don't like changing a winning team. For me, I just don't like to see it unless there's like some major tactical reason. But to me, this team can beat the Eagles. It's got all the tools. It's quick. It's quick enough. That's their big skill. They're very fast. So to me, Plowman on Lewis Ryan, we're fine.
Yep. Angie Princey, my first time watching you guys. I'm loving the wins we've been having. As a South Aussie bagger, this week is going to be the best. Good on you, Angie. Love that. There were quite a few Carlton supporters from Adelaide who also made the trip down as well. So well done to you guys for getting there. And I think that'll do it for the night. We've hit an hour already. Stay tuned. I've got a few more interviews to post from after the game. Dan and I did a few more videos that'll go up tomorrow as well. There's a bunch of content there. If you haven't liked the the Facebook page yet, make sure you do. Turn on notifications so you get all the videos as they come in. Instagram, YouTube, it's all happening. We are Blue Abroad. We are all over the place. We're all over the world. There's 700,000 fans of the Carlton Football Club around the world, according to our club. And we want them all here on Blue Abroad. That's what it's all about. So, Dan, thank you for your time. Kano, thank you for coming on earlier. I love all of you. Go the Mighty Blue Boys.
Go the Blues.